Listen, it is 60 something degrees outside. I had a half day of work. I'm trying to get this video out because I just don't know. But anyway, so yeah, video started off all dry. Anyway, that was rude. What's going on, y'all? So I hope y'all had a good week. I had a good week, and let's get right into this video. I done already wasted some time. Look, it's just one of those goddamn days. I just really don't feel it. But okay, it is what it is. So I remember, the big stories that's been going on is about the Sigma, Alpha, Epsilon, whatever the fuck, SAE, the University of Oklahoma fraternity chapter that was basically caught on video, you know, on I guess it was a fraternity sponsored date, whatever the fuck it was. They was on the bus and they was up there chanting and singing a song basically saying ain't no niggers with an EG gonna be in this fraternity. They can't sit with us. They can hang from a tree, but they can't sit with us and shit like that. And I'm just sitting here like, well, good goddamn. You could have sworn it was like 1954, when this shit was made, and it was just fucked up. I mean, I can't even go deep into it and get so pissed off because it is what it is. The only thing that I can say about it is it's fucked up that it's 2015 and this shit's still going on. And then you got dumbasses like Kanye West saying that racism is, he don't like the word racism, and racism is like an outdated word or some shit like that. It's not really here because we have a black president and because we have black artists selling and shit like that and other stuff, and it's more so classism. Baby, racism is here and it's gonna stay here for a long time. With shit like this coming out, people people ain't really changing. They disguising it and then they open it up to people that they think, oh, what's done behind closed doors is not gonna get out. So they probably didn't even think that they was being recorded. I want to know who the fuck recorded it and then uploaded it. Kudos to you. Um, it's just real fucked up. Racism don't exist no more. Racism is alive, thriving, and well. With all the bullshit that's been going on, recently, it's just that's just fucked up. And I applaud the university president for taking immediate action and shutting down the chapter and expelling, a couple of the students, the people that were mainly leading the chant. And the fact that everybody on that bus knew the damn song. It was just, that's what's more troubling than anything. Everybody on the bus knew the damn song because it was more than one voice. It was like a fucking choir of voices singing a song in unison. Like they actually learned this together and they been knew this stuff. And they was like, fuck it, let's start, we gonna do karaoke on the bus. Let's do this. Hang a nigga by this motherfucking deck, bitch. And I'm just like, what? It was just irritating to see and fucked up. But like I said, kudos to the president of the university for just going ahead and shutting down the chapter without having to say, "Oh, we're going to investigate before we take immediate action" and stuff like that. When the evidence is clear as day. Okay, so it is what it is. And then I think the boy that was the main face that was standing up in the video, he put out a statement because his high school principal and them, they outed him and said, "Yep, he a follower. He don't know how to think on his own. He just do what his friends say and all this shit." And he trying to put out a statement saying that um he apologized. It's not how you feel. Yes, the song was learned. They had to learn the song or some shit like that, and it shouldn't have. No, I don't give a fuck. If something don't sit right with my spirit, I'm not gonna do it. So therefore, you wanted to do it. It ain't no excuse in this matter. And it's an ongoing investigation now because it was some sorority girls, another sorority that was on the bus with them, and they trying to investigate that they had something to do with it. And, you know, it irked me when I saw pictures of them moving out the fraternity. Like, they was laughing and smiling like it was all to the good. I'm just like, y'all just really don't care. It's just like, it's nothing to y'all. Okay. You know, that was just fucked up. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Kanye just slipped into some famous white pussy. And all of a sudden, racism is dated. Oh, I I can't even go in on Kanye because it's just not even worth it. He's on another level, another plane. You know, pussy will fuck your mind up. And that's exactly what it's doing right about now. You can't tell me no different. But moving on from that, saw this video on my Facebook. I don't know the circumstances around it, but it was about this girl who was just getting jumped. I didn't read it. The video just instantly started playing. And I just noticed on my own before reading any captions or whatever the fuck it was, the girl was getting jumped by like multiple people. And y'all know I'm not here for that jumping shit. I'm not here for that jumping shit. If you got a beef, you and your friends got a beef with one person, you bitches, you bitches, you bitches better take turns fighting. Meaning that girl and you gonna fight. When whoever win that, y'all take a break. The next two y'all gonna fight. Fuck that jumping shit. That's the weakest shit ever. You got 10 plus people or 5 plus people on one girl. Okay? And she stood her ground for what it was, but the most fucked up part about it was a whole crowd of people. A whole crowd of people that's standing around watching this girl get her ass whipped by multiple people, and none of them motherfuckers gonna take out a phone and call 911. They taking out the phone and they're recording. None of them wanted to jump in and say, "No, this is fucked up." There was a whole bunch of dudes in there. Y'all could have pulled them females apart, you know. And it's just disgusting. I'd be good goddamn. Cause we used to fight. I don't know. We used to fight when we was younger. Okay. And, you know, I come from a family where my cousins and them, they used to get into it all the time. They was, like, I guess you can say the problem kids of the family, whatever. But, you know, because somebody had a beef with them, so everybody that had a beef with them had a beef with the whole fucking family. And I'm not that type of person. Like, bitch, if I don't know you, if I don't fuck with you, you can fuck their ass up because that's their issue. You're not finna fuck me up because I fuck you up first. That's what it is, okay? So I'm not here for that jumping shit, you know? If my cousins and them had an issue, it was always you fight that bitch and that bitch gonna fight you. Ain't nobody finna jump in. But if your friend jump in, then bitch, a friend gonna jump in on our side too. And then it's gonna be an even fight still. You know? Not no one person against a whole fucking crowd. A whole fucking crowd. And the bitch that she was beating ass to was still getting her ass whooped. Okay? It was just like, it was just ridiculous. And, you know, and you wonder why they call us savages and all this other stuff and all these negative stereotypes against us. Whatever. Where you home training at? But, talking about some more people getting their ass whipped. Oh my god, this shit with Angie Stone. Angie Stone and her daughter. So my timeline lit up and was like, God damn, it lit up with Angie Stone's mugshot, first of all. That was the key right there. I said, damn, it looked like she went through some shit. Okay? And Angie Stone mugshot looked like she been down for 48 years. Okay? That's what it looked like. Like she was at her limit. And, you know, they was like, she got arrested. And I was like, arrested for what? They said for domestic abuse. And I said, so her and old boy got into it. I didn't even know they were still together. Girl, no, she whooped her daughter's ass because she hit her in the face and with a metal stand or whatever and knocks her two front teeth out or whatever. And I said, the fuck was going on that you got that much anger up in you to knock some teeth out your mouth, okay? Knock a bitch teeth out their mouth. And then the daughter gonna get up there, you know. If you watch R&B Divas Atlanta, y'all seen when Angie Stone was on there and y'all seen the relationship between her daughter and her. You know, it is a little, you know, testy relationship. You can tell that there were differences that they had that they needed to work out. And you can tell that it was not always the best relationship. That's fine and dandy, but You can also tell that Diamond had a little attitude, Angie had a little attitude, and you can just tell that their attitudes and their personalities and stuff clash. You know, Diamond holding on to the fact that Angie really wasn't there to raise her because she was always on the road and stuff like that. Girl, you too old for this. Let that shit go. Do your music and put your pain in the music and heal from there. Here's my thing. Um, People was like, how the fuck she get arrested? Angie got arrested. And I said, damn, what the fuck was really going on? So I'm reading the shit and come to find out, because Diamond want to put up the pictures showing that her teeth were clean knocked out. Like, it didn't even knock out the root. It didn't knock out the root. It was like somebody sawed it in half or whatever and sawed it to the gums and the stuff was still up in there. So I was just confused. Like, if you knock a bitch tooth out like that, how do you do that? With a metal thing, I would have thought that it would have just at least, and fucked up your gums and shit. That's what I would have thought. But no, and she trying to defend herself and say, y'all don't know what be going on, and I've been taking this abuse all these years, and yada yada yada. But here's the thing: it's not. I don't care if you probably were getting abused or whatever. It could have happened. Angie look like she don't play no shit, and she get frustrated, whatever the fuck. But here's the thing: from what I read, you was staying at her home. She came into your room. Your shit was fucked up and she asked you to clean your shit up. I don't see what is wrong and what's the big issue about a parent or anybody's place that you're occupying, that you're a guest in. You are a guest in her home. Regardless of if it was your mama, your auntie, or a friend, you're a fucking guest with your kids. And then you got the nerve to be a guest and then have the shit fucked up. No, you're a guest in my home, and if my home was clean when you came up in this bitch, it's gonna be clean while you're in it and when you fucking leave, okay? So that's one. So if she wanna come in and tell you, bitch, clean up the motherfucking room because it looks a goddamn mess, I ain't trying to get fucking bugs and roaches and shit, okay? You fucking do that shit. Second, you got your kids running around half naked and she telling you to fucking control your kids. Don't tell me you're going to get an attitude because somebody's telling you what you're supposed to be doing because you're not doing it and that's your fucking mother. And I'm just sitting here like, damn, this shit just ain't adding up. Like, you could tell it was something else, but still. They said that they got into an argument. Next thing you know, Diamond tried to hit her or punch her. And then Angie went and got the thing and said, fuck this bitch, I ain't finna fuck my hands up. Let me fuck this bitch up with a metal pipe so she can know. Pop, teeth fall out. It is what it is. And, I'm assuming because, Angie used a weapon, quote unquote, because she used a metal stand or whatever and she knocked the girl's teeth out. That's why she got arrested. That's what I'm going to assume. And I don't know. Y'all go on Nina. If y'all look at Much Love from KY, her page, and if y'all follow her, Much Love from Nina on Instagram, I don't know what Nina said to old girl, but old girl got a whiff of it and tried to come for her on Instagram. And when I tell you Nina read the dog shit out of that girl, my soul was hurt for her. I was like, shit, let me not cross your side because ain't no coming back for her. And then when I went to go check on the girl page after reading it, she done deleted her shit on Instagram. I said, it was that deep? Nina hurt your feelings that deep? I said, go the fuck off, Nina, because she did try to come at her. But it is what it is. Like I said, I don't feel sorry for neither one of them. How I never ever see this is why I barely want kids. Because I will fuck a bitch up. If I'm providing for you, we carried your ass, how dare you fucking, disrespect the people that helped made you, okay? Who protect you, who provided for you and all that shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's just like the way, did y'all see, speaking of fucked up mamas, Frankie on All In Keisha Cole's show. Not the last week's episode, but the episode before that, I think it was episode 2, when she hopped out that car to talk to Elite, and then they got into it, and Elite was trying to calm her down. Elite wasn't trying to go there, but nephew, Frankie was just calling her bitches and shit. And then Frankie jumped up and pushed her like that. I said, why she jump up like that? Now, see, I would have knocked Frankie's ass out right in there. I know how my temper is. You cross this area, I'm a fucking... But I know certain people that I wouldn't do that to. But, almost one time, I'm going to be honest. There was a couple of times when I was younger. mostly probably when I was a teenager, and once when I was a kid. I almost went there with my mama. I almost. But it was a respect issue. And the fact that I know that that's my mama. And I know that if I would have came at her, bitch would have came at me 10 times harder. Okay? So we all then got whoopings and hollered at. And then we standing there with our fists rolled up. And my mama was like, oh, so you gonna use that? Bitch, I almost did. You know, it was one of those things. And I literally let step to her like, and what? And she said, do something. And I backed the fuck down. Because I'm not crazy. You know, when you get pissed off, you get in a moment of delirium and you're crazy and shit. But certain people, you know that your crazy can't match they crazy. Because if you get them crazy, they going to give you crazy times 10. And you just not going to win that situation. And plus, there's a respect issue. I would never, ever, ever fucking hit my mama. When we get into an argument, I don't even cuss her ass out. I don't curse around her or whatever the fuck. No. It ain't even never gonna be nothing like that. Even if cause I feel bad. Okay, I'm all big and bad at all this shit, but I will fucking feel terrible. Okay, I wouldn't know how to deal with that shit. My mama be getting mad at me, you know, it gets to the point like my mama get mad at me and then she have her little periods where she don't talk to me. Like she used to do that shit when I was younger and that shit used to get to me so bad. It used to get to me so bad. I be sitting up here and bitch just be acting like this. She wouldn't talk to me and you be doing this, you ignore me on purpose. You know, it be hurting my spirit. You know, so I can't do that shit. I just don't see how people can just raise their hand to a parent who, I don't know. I guess we just got to understand the situation, but it is what it is. I know I said I was not going to watch this interview. Moving on from that. I know I said I was not going to watch this interview. And I'm finna talk about drunk shit, and I'm over here drinking shit. I came home, it was a case of strawberry Ritas in my room, and I said, thank you, Jesus, because this is a day. But anyway, I said I wasn't going to watch this shit, but I did catch it. I'm going to be honest, I caught it, you know. I didn't watch it at the regular time. I did catch it somewhere else. And everybody, I was at work, and my Twitter timeline was going the fuck off at certain times. And I was like, because of the Nick Gordon interview with Dr. Phil. I went off last video because I said it wasn't nothing but a PR stunt. It wasn't nothing but trying to get him attention and attention on the family. Mostly him. Because it wasn't the Brown family that was doing it. It wasn't the Houston family that was doing it. It was Nick Gordon. We are concerned about what's going on with Bobby Christina. I don't give a damn. I'm going to be honest. I looked at the... Let me preface this. Because I have had family members who suffer from alcoholism, suffer from drugs, and being addicted to drugs. And 2 of them are dead because of it. Okay? My aunt, you know, even though she didn't die because she was murdered, okay? But the person who did it, he was high and he was drunk as fuck when he did it, okay? But she was about that life, and I was surprised, no lie, love my aunt to death, but I was surprised that she made it as long as she made it because she was on drugs for a long time. And it was just one of those things like, if we knew she was going to pass away, we knew she was going to pass away from a drug overdose or alcoholism or some shit like that. But instead, you know, a monkey wrench got thrown in the plans and she was murdered. But my uncle, we didn't see that shit coming. But then, you know, you wouldn't have said that my uncle was going to pass away from alcoholism and he was going to just let his body, you know, go to waste because he was going through so much that he was not saying. You know, he was depressed, he was sick, he was this, he was that. Old stuff started coming up and he just let his body waste away. Okay? And we saw what was happening and we tried to talk, and you know, you can't make a person do what they don't want to do yet. And you can just tell during the last few weeks, couple of months of his life, he had completely just given up. And he was in so much pain and he just knew that it was the end. You know, it's almost as if he knew that he fucked up. And I don't know how to explain it, but I get what alcoholism and drug abuse and all that stuff look like. And I know it varies from different people. Every circumstance is not the same. But when I seen this interview, let me put that out there. When I seen this whatever fuckery of a sham of a bullshit, let me get some rating shit, I just knew right off the bat, it was just some bullshit. I'm sorry, I cannot feel sorry for him. Because It just did not feel real. It did not seem real. And it just seemed like a comedy show. I laughed. Okay. You can call me cold hearted, insensitive, whatever the fuck. But bitch, I laughed because I was not understanding. There was so many things wrong with that whole situation. First of all, your mother pops up and we didn't even know you had a mother. Granted, it's not our business. But you know, when Whitney died, all of a sudden you pop up, and then they put out stuff saying that y'all been in Whitney lives for all this time, and you've been staying with her, and it's like, where's your mom? And we didn't even know you had contact. Once again, that's not our business, but still, that's how it was portrayed. Okay, looks can be fucking deceiving, I guess. You know, and it was her who called Dr. Field to do this intervention. It was supposed to be an interview for him or whatever, I guess, to get his side out about what's going on or some shit. But then it just really turned into an intervention. Here's my thing. The mother is sitting there talking about her son, and I'm listening to the things that she is saying. It sounded as if she was getting all this information. She claimed that it was from Nick. Okay, that's what you want to go by, we gonna go by that. But when I'm listening to it, I'm like, girl, it's almost as if you read an article, the same article that I read, and you're literally repeating what you memorized. That's what it felt like. Like, girl, where are you getting this information? You ain't talked to him about this. That's what it felt like to me. Okay, that's what it felt like to me. And I know she was trying to keep her composure, you know, trying not to hype the situation or whatever. But for some reason, that's her child, and you see him like that, it just threw me off the way she was acting. She was just a little bit too calm for me. You know, I don't get it, but hey, if that's the story that they want to go by, that's the story they want to go by. Then, you know, that was like the first 30 minutes. All of a sudden, we're trying to reintroduce Nick's mama into the picture, trying to make her look like she was doing something. You know, we find out a little bit more about him, how when he came to, first of all, and then gonna lie and say that he gave Whitney Houston CPR, and then the police report and all that stuff, the family came out and said, bitch, that did not happen. That did not happen. And the paramedics had the reports or whatever to back it up that said, girl, you ain't trying to give her no CPR. And I was like, so you really was there when this happened? You should have kept that to yourself, because people are already looking at you sad eye. And I seen some people in the comments saying, what if? What if he had something to do? I was like, y'all and y'all conspiracy theories. But in this case, what if? What if? Because shit is just, all of this shit is just funny business right about now. And then you got your people, I don't know, was it his lawyer or his publicist or whoever the fuck it was that was filming him drunk and high off his ass. Okay? Now, first of all, I don't never want to get that drunk where I can't pull my shit up, okay? You got to help me get up. I'm a big bitch. You ain't finna help me get up. You know, y'all probably just gonna say, bitch, you just lay on the floor and, you know, try not to choke on your vomit or whatever, because I don't see how this gonna happen. Wait till you sober up a little bit and you get your own ass up, but this ain't gonna work. You know, it was something like that, okay? But he couldn't get his pants on. He was just talking, and then I miss Chrissy and I miss Whitney. And I was like, you know what? That's your guilt talking. That's your guilt talking, which makes me think some other things, okay? But I'm not gonna put that out there. Like, yeah, okay. And it's almost as if, I don't know, I wouldn't have filmed that shit. Or if I filmed it, I would not put it out there for the world to see, because it just don't seem right. It just don't seem right. It just seemed like y'all was trying to make a public humiliation of this boy who is going through some bullshit. Yes, he is going through some shit. But it just I don't know, was they trying to make us feel sorry for him or sympathize with him, empathize with him? I just didn't feel nothing. I just felt it was a fucking show. And then when he actually go and talking to Dr. Phil, and the way he was, it was like he was pre-puberty. I love Bobby, Christina. I love Chrissy. And I lost the most legendary singer in the world. And I'm making you famous. I'm Nick Gordon, and I'm going to make you famous. I said, ho. What? He was crying but no tears. And I'm like, I know he has fuck. Okay, taking that Xanax and he was drunk and all that stuff. It was just, and for the mama, I have so many questions. And one of the main questions that I have is, You say your son called you or told his brother, whatever, that he tried to commit suicide. He wanted to commit suicide. You seen what he was going through. You're down in Orlando, Florida. He's over here in Atlanta, whatever. Why is it that you had to call Dr. Phil to get him on the show to do an intervention instead of just bringing your ass up and taking care of your child? I don't give a damn how old he is. That is still your child, okay? And if you see and you hear your son is suffering, why not come up there and try to help him and say, no, I don't give a fuck. If I have to get so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, I'm bringing your ass back down here with me, and we're going to take care of this problem. I'm going to help you get into a facility. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to be by your side, okay? Where the fuck was she at throughout all this? I'm talking about physically. Fucking physically. If that's your child, I just don't see a mother just letting her child just sit there and rot away like that. I just don't. Knowing all the shit that he's been going through, it just, yeah, I just question it. I just question it. And then he didn't know that she was coming up there for this interview. Like, it was just a lot. It was really just a lot. And I don't know. It just didn't sit well with me. A lot of stuff just didn't sit well with me. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. I can't even. I laugh. I'm not gonna. Y'all know I'm gonna be 100%. And fuck your feelings, okay? Oh, you shouldn't do that because what if? No, we've been there and I've seen how shit happened. And like I said, every situation is different. But bitch, something about that just was not right. It didn't move my spirit. It just made me look at him like, yeah, he is a joke. And then you want to say you hate Bobby Brown and he this and he that. And then when the mama said that it's not the Houston family or the Brown family. The Houston family don't got shit against him. It's the Brown family or whatever that probably got shit against him. And I said, you's a goddamn lie. Pat would be quick than a motherfucker to get a goddamn restraining order against that motherfucker. Pat made known on the goddamn reality show that she didn't want fucking with that boy. Okay? Gary didn't fuck with that boy. They almost came to blows at one point, okay? The Houston family, one of their cousins, got into a fight with that motherfucker. They don't fuck with your son like that, and I can understand why Bobby don't want him around his daughter. And all this shit is going on because you feel fucking guilty because your ass was sitting there doing this shit with this girl. Bobby and Nick, they don't need to be together if she comes out of this because he's an enabler and she's an enabler to him. They depend and codepend on each other, and that's why they're in this fucking situation. And it's been going on since Whitney was alive. They took fucking field trip groups to fucking rehab. All three of them. The fuck? And ain't shit happened. Y'all did that shit for stunts and shows. I'm not buying it, but y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Girl, okay, girl. That's how you feel. Everybody going off about Joseline Hernandez. Althea, she really is suing them for, whooping her ass at the reunion. And here's my thing again. Back in the day, we got into fights. We lost the motherfucking fight. Hey, we live to, we just gonna duke that shit out again. If we want to set it up or whatever, we gonna do it again. I'm gonna whoop your ass again. I got your ass. You got me this time. I'm gonna whoop your ass when I see you the next time. Okay, fine as well. We go home. We get a busted nose. We get that. We just wipe that blood up and walk the fuck away. Okay, that's hood life. Okay, out there, you look like you came from some shit and you know some shit or whatever. We know Jocelyn came from the bottom of the bottom, okay, and she ain't really at the top yet. She's still at the bottom because look at her actions. But it is what it is. I just don't understand what's the point of suing somebody because you got your ass whooped and you really didn't get your ass whipped. Okay, you didn't really get injured or anything. Like, I just don't get that. And it's a fucking show that was set up. And that's what everybody's going off about because Joseline basically said in her disposition that, the show was fake. A lot of these people on here are acting. And I'm like, of course, it's Love and Hip Hop Atlanta especially. And we're seeing it more and more with Love and Hip Hop New York and all this other stuff, especially Love and Hip Hop. Like, bitch, the whole franchise, we know it's fake. We know it's fake. The situations may be set up or whatever, but most of the shit is fake. We know it. And I was like, y'all going off like y'all seen something new or y'all heard something new. We all been saying that this shit is fake. So I don't get it, but it is what it is. I just feel like it's stupid for them to be suing. Some of y'all may feel differently, but I mean, this is what you signed on to do. So you should know. that something like this was gonna happen. Well, it is what it is. Ain't nobody else sued because they got their ass whipped or attempt to get their ass whipped. I guess. But congratulations to the Marvin Gaye's family. They won a lawsuit against Pharrell and Robin Thicke. They sued them because they said that the blurred lines was a blatant sample of, Robin Marvin Gaye's "Got to Give It to You" or "Give It Up" or something like that. I know the song, okay, and let me tell you something. He sampled it. It's Marvin's song. The first time after Marvin that I ever really heard the song was when Aaliyah remade the song for her One in a Million album. And she did the video. And she had, I think, like a little hologram or a little, picture of him like dancing in the video. So therefore, you're giving credit. That means that if I'm going to put you in a video, I'm saying where this music came from. The credits was given in the credits of the album cover and all that stuff. So that means you got clearance and you're saying this is not an original piece of work. This is sample from this individual. Pharrell, being in the music industry, being a producer as long as he's been, same thing with Robin Thicke. How the hell did y'all think that y'all was going to get away with this and claim that this was original, that it wasn't sample or it was an accident or whatever the fuck? Come the fuck on. 95% of the shit that's out here today is not fucking original, okay? Everything is recycled, reused, and resampled, okay? James Brown is one of the ones that's fucking sampled all over and over and over. And a whole bunch of these other funk artists from back in the day, their music is always sampled in all this shit, okay? You have to get fucking clearance, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You gotta pay to do shit like that. So, let this be a fucking lesson learned for you up and coming producers and music stars, whatever. You have to ask and you have to get clearance and you have to get permission. And if you can't, that don't mean that you go ahead and continue to use it because you can get sued. And this is what happened. The Marvin Gaye family, they got $7.3 million. And they was saying how the Happy song, it sounds like another one of Marvin's song, but they're not gonna pursue anything about that yet. But I was like, oops, okay. And every time I heard Happy, when I first heard Happy, no lie, it was the same song from You Watch the Wiz and at the very beginning when the Munchkins was talking and Miss One came down. Miss One! That's my motherfucking movie, so I knew. I was like, where did he get this song from? I heard this melody before. The Wiz. That song. And now he's saying it's probably Margaret. I said, good day. Okay, it is what it is. But what I'm going to have to get on, congratulations to the family, but Nona, you trying to get you a role in something. I seen what you did at that press conference. I said, who is she crying for, girl? Who is, you just want some money, okay? Fuck them tears. I get money, bitch. That's me. I knew this shit was going to happen, and I just want to thank my lawyers and everybody for seeing what we've been seeing. We ain't really trying to take back, take nothing from people. We just want what's ours, okay? If you're going to use our stuff, use our stuff. And, this is a shining reflection on our father's legacy, okay? And my father is probably smiling down in heaven like, yeah, baby, you do that. Just give us what we deserve. Thank you. Have a nice day. I'm not finna get up there and be... And then she was in all black like it was a goddamn funeral. Bitch, you just want some money. I'm just confused. She was acting a little bit too much for me. Like, girl, who died? Your father... Your daddy was... Girl, I'm not gonna go there because I was about to say something. But I'm gonna leave that alone. Creflo Dollar. See, this is why I have an issue with the church. And shit like this. And it's so it irks me because I know people who are heavily into the church, and I know that they don't act like this and they don't feel this way. Like the stereotypes that be against the black church, especially, like they just be scheming and scamming and stuff. I got people who go to church and who aren't the complete opposite, who actually have a head on their shoulders, who know what they're talking about, and they're not hypocritical. They're not, holier than thou. They don't think they're better. They're not judgmental, nothing like that. They're not trying to take from anybody or whatever. So I don't have a problem with that. It's just that when situations that be popping up, like these mega churches. That's one thing, okay? All of a sudden, I'm throwing out Holy Spirit and y'all passing out. I'm delivered. And now you got Creflo Dollar putting up a GoFundMe or something like that. For what? Having to people of his congregation to donate at least $300 each, to get $65 million private plane. Because his plane, which was made in 1984, that he brought in 1999 or some shit like that, one of the engines blew out and it's old. And so he needs a new one to go do his, safely do his holy duties, with his missionary work and dropping this off and dropping that off. So you put up a GoFundMe account so you can get a $65 million plane when you can take that motherfucking money and get a fucking 5 years worth of fucking first class tickets on a goddamn commercial ass flight, or get you a chartered fucking plane. So does that $65 million include the jet fuel? Okay? Or is that separate? Is that something in the fine print that we gotta, pay separately or whatever? I'm just confused. Like, why would you even think that it was okay to put that shit out there? People already look at the black church in general as some funny business. And then you're going to put this out here talking about some $65 million. You want a GoFundMe when these bitches are out here taking advantage of GoFundMe and you doing the same goddamn thing. $65 fucking million. Bitch, you better go and spend $1,000 for all around the way trip, nonstop, to get you a first class ticket if that's the case. If not, get you a charter fucking plane. Okay? You got the motherfucking monies and you got the goddamn ends for that shit. Alright? So get the I just can't. I seen that today and I just like, you gotta be shitting me. You gotta be shitting me because his plane broke down. Bitch. Get a first class ticket. Get a chartered jet. Okay? $65 fucking million. That's a luxury ass plane. That's a fucking luxury ass plane. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. That's like if Beyonce and Jay-Z would have started a fucking GoFundMe because they want to put some wood panel up in their plane. I will fucking throw all my shit that I have of all of them in the garbage and say, you gotta be kidding me. I hate y'all. That's what I would have did. The fuck? People just like to take advantage and I'm not here for it. But, moving on from that. I don't know the situation surrounding what happened with the cops that got shot in Ferguson. I do know that I think it was the police chief, that white guy. He was, I don't know if he was made, basically, to resign. And as soon as he resigned, 2 cops got shot. I think one got shot in the face and the other got shot in the shoulder. I was on the phone when this shit happened, but I was looking at it. I didn't hear it, but it's just fucked up. I got to get more information on it. It just all seems so, But I'm just so tired of talking about this bullshit. Y'all just don't understand. It's just been so fucking draining. Who gives a shit that Madonna dated Tupac? Are y'all really surprised? Madonna fucked just about, I don't gonna say fuck, but she dated just about everybody in the industry. Whatever. Ciara released her video for her song, I Bet. Did I even talk about the song? I don't like the song. I don't like it. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I guess you could say it's showing a little growth in her vocals or whatever, but not too much. It's not. I forget. Look, I literally forgot she had came out with the song. The song is forgettable, and the video is forgettable too. But I will say, artistically and visually, on the more artistic side, it's one of her better videos because I can see she's trying to do not the regular just hood street dance or whatever. She had the ballerina stuff going on. She was doing a little interpretive dancing and stuff like that. So that was nice part about it. She looked great in it. I will give her that. But other than that, it ain't nothing that I will go back and look at it again. I've yet to be impressed. I'm sorry. I've yet to be impressed. Like, Ciara, you got it in you to impress me, because I was here for Ciara. See, I think some people think I don't like certain people. No, it's just that I can like you, but I just don't, I'm not going to go up in arms for your shit and be like, oh my God, this is the motherfucking bomb and shit like that when it's not, to me. You know, I'm not gonna put it all in there. Ain't nothing epic about nothing. Y'all overuse that word. And it is what it is. I mean, it was a cute video, but it was forgettable. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. Like she said, she looked good in it, but you know, it is what it is. Do I need to talk about anything else? Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna do another video. I don't want to say that, but I wanted to speak on. Yeah, I'm gonna do another video. I'll put it in another video because this is already 40 minutes. Y'all know Walking Dead Empire Scandal gonna be in the next video, so head over to there, and I will see y'all later. Enjoy y'all weekend. It is so warm outside. I don't know where you at, but bitch, it's warm out here, and I'm finna go play or do something. I don't know. Y'all, girl, just have fun. Peace.